press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Hello children, how are you? All are good? So today I am here with you with another new lesson. So this is a prose. This lesson is having some special quality. So why I am saying this has a special quality? Because of this is about the man, and he served for our country. And he is also called, you know that. So he is also called as Missile Man. And now you guess the name. So already I have written on the board. The story, the lesson is about APJ Abdul Kalam. So he was a scientist. He was a politician. And he was become a 11th president. He was one of our 11th president of our country. So in this lesson we are going to discuss and we are going to understand about his childhood. So here the name of the lesson is My Childhood. And this story and this lesson was extracted from the book called The Wings of Fire. Okay, so it is an autobiography of APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, so this in this book, so he has narrated his life and how he has achieved in his life and how he was in his childhood days. So what's his dream? What's his imagination? So everything it is he has written in this book. But today in this class I am going to say about only about his childhood days. Okay, although he was familiar with the other children, but somewhat he was having some strange dream. So how he was fulfilled his dream? So it's only about a childhood. If you want to know more about Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, you can read the book, this book, The Wings of Fire. So where he has written about his life, about his achievement, about his dedication towards the country, and how he has the patriotic feeling towards the country. And one of the main role he played here, there is Pokhran II, the nuclear test. So in that he played a role, the important role here, that is a technical and also as a political, as a scientist. He plays one of the role in that to make the test successful in the year 1998. Okay, so he is called as the Missile Man. Okay, so let's see what is his journey, how the journey begins. Okay, so it is about a brief explanation. This lesson is about a brief explanation about the childhood days of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Okay, so let's see here. Can you think of any scientist who have also been statesmen? So have you ever seen the person like a scientist and he was also become a statesman, like a president? He was become a leader for the country. APJ Abdul Kalam, whose projects in space, defense and nuclear technology guided India into the 21st century, became our 11th president in 2002. So here we are going to introduce about the Abdul Kalam. So here whose projects, so whatever the projects he has completed about the space, about the defense of the nuclear technology, he was guided to India to move on to the 21st century, how our India looks in the 21st century, and he was guided for all the departments, so which is worked under him. Okay, and he became an 11th president of our country, so in the year 2002. In his autobiography, Wings of Fire, he speaks of the childhood. So in this book, The Wings of Fire, so he speaks about the childhood. He introduced about his childhood. Okay, so let's see how his childhood was. Here he was the narrator. I was born into a middle class Tamil family in the island town of Rameshwaram in the erstwhile Madras state. So he was born in a middle class family. He was not a rich people. He was not a poor condition. Okay, so he belongs to the middle class family in the island town of Rameshwaram. So his place, it is situated in the island which belongs to the Rameshwaram. Okay, in the erstwhile Madras state. Erstwhile means former Madras state. So that Rameshwaram, which is called as the erstwhile Madras state, which is belongs to the Madras state. It was called, not the Tamil Nadu. Okay. My father, Jainul Abidin, had neither much formal education nor much wealth. So he is introducing here the father. The father was called Jainul Abidin. Had neither the much formal education. He was not got more education. He was not went to the school, and he was not acquired the more qualification, and he was not have the wealth. Despite these advantages, he possessed the great innate wisdom and true generosity of spirit. Although he didn't have that the two things, that is wealth and education, but although he has some special qualities. So what is that? Is inborn quality of feeling in one's nature. So innate means it is the quality which the person has from when he was born. Okay, that feelings which is called the nature, one's nature. Okay, so the feeling which is related to the father of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, which is true and which is the nature, so which is inherited, okay, from their parents. That is the wisdom. So what is that? He had lot of wisdom and true generosity of spirit. Generosity means he was loyal. He was loyal. He was a true man. Okay. Then he had an ideal helpmate in my mother, Ashi Amma. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day. So here he had an ideal helpmate. So here he is saying about the mother. The mother called Ashi Amma. I do not recall the exact number of people she fed every day. It means that the nature of a mother. So many people are visiting the Abdul Kalam's house for meals, for food. And they are not counting how many people are having meals in their home. Means they are kind, they are having a helping nature. Okay. So he is appreciating the mother. But I am quite certain that for more outsider age with us than all the members of our own family put together. Okay, so he was surprised. He was feel very quiet than outsider is also sitting with them for a meal. Okay, so then he realized that they are not belongs to their family members, but they are the outsiders. So they also sitting with them for meals. I was one of many children, a short boy with rather undistinguished looks, born to tall, handsome parents. Okay, so he was saying about himself. Abdul Kalam was saying about himself here. So he was one of the child, that is a short boy. Okay, among the siblings, he was a short boy with the undistinguished looks. His looks are a little different compared to their parents. Born to tall and handsome parents. His parents are tall and also they are handsome. They are attracted, but he is not. We lived in our ancestral house. Ancestral house means, so it is a simple, strict and severe kind of home. Okay, and it was where the grandparents, they were lived there. Once upon a time they were lived there, and now they are also. So Abdul Kalam and the parents and his parents also living in that particular house. So it is called as an ancestral house, which was built in the middle of the 19th century. So that house was built during the middle of the 19th century. It was fairly large pakka house made of limestone and brick on the Mask Street in the Rameshwaram. So this house which is built up with the pakka house with the good materials like limestone and bricks, okay, and it is situated on the Mask Street where the mosque is nearer to this place which is belongs to there, and the place called Rameshwaram. My austere father used to avoid all inessential comforts and luxurious. So my austere means father. Okay, sorry, I have told ancestral means simple, strict and severe. So ancestral means the parents whose parents were lived, whose great grandparents. So it was transferred from pass on to the generation. So they were living in a particular house. Okay. So here austere means simple and severe and strict man. Who here? That is father of the Abdul Kalam. So he is very simple and he was very strict and he was very disciplined man. He used to avoid all the inessential comforts and luxurious. So he was avoiding luxurious and comfortable life. So he wants to live a simple life, and it is a disciplined life, and he was very strict too. However, all the necessities were provided for in terms of food, medicine or clothes. Okay, so all the necessities, all the basic needs, the father was providing here to the children and to the family. So that is food, medicines and clothes. So all the essentials, whatever they need for their living, so everything the father was provided, but not he was leading a luxurious and comfortable life. Okay. In fact, I would say mine was very secure childhood, both materially and emotionally. So here Abdul Kalam is appreciating about the parents. So he was the last one. He was the last child, means he was a young child among his brother and sister, and he was enjoyed with the materially. Materially means all the things, whatever the things he needs, he get all those things. He got it, and also emotionally. So all the parents and the brothers and sisters, they were attached to Abdul Kalam very much. Okay. Then, so let's move on to the next paragraph here. The Second World War broke out in 1939 when I was 8 years old. So here Abdul Kalam says here, during the time of Second World War, so it was begin in the year 1939 and it was end in the year 1954. So here the wars between the USA, then USSR, then UK. Okay, that is Russia, America and UK, United Kingdom. So the wars were between these countries. Okay, and then so when the World War was begin, so he was about the 8-year-old boy. For reasons I have never been able to understand, a sudden demand for tamarind seeds erupted in the market. Okay, so here when it was broke out, when the war was broke out, so there is a sudden demand of the tamarind seeds in the market. So he was not got the reason why it was demanded in the market. I used to collect the seeds and sell them to the provision shop on Mask Street. Okay, so he was sell all the seeds he was collected, and he used to sell that seeds to the provision store, the store which the shopkeeper keep there. Okay, so he was selling to the shopkeeper, and which is situated on the Mask Street. A day's collection would fetch me the princely sum of 1 anna. Okay, so 1 anna, it is an old Indian coin worth about 6 paise. Okay, so its value is about 6 paise, that is called 1 anna. So while he was selling that tamarind seeds to the provision store, so he got the amount, some of the amount, how much it was, so 1 anna, and it was a fetch. It is enough for him to live a princely life. Okay, princely life, not to enjoy his kind of life. Okay, so he thought that he became like a prince. Okay, then my brother-in-law, that is Jalaluddin, would tell me stories about the war, which I would later attempt to trace in the highlights in Dinamani. Okay, Dinamani. So his brother-in-law, So the name of the brother-in-law was Jalaluddin. So he used to say the headlines which about a war. So the headlines which is in a Dinamani newspaper. Our area being isolated, okay. So this area is isolated, which is alone, okay. So there is no crowd and there is no market. So there is no they can't get the news easily. So it was isolated, that place was. Then was completely unaffected by the war. So that place where the Abdul Kalam and his family was living there, it was unaffected. It was left unaffected. There was no effect because of the war. But soon India was forced to join the Allied forces and something like a state of emergency was declared. You know, during the 1939, still our country is ruled under the Britishers. Okay, so during that period, so UK, so here UK is a part of the Third World War. So they have to be, inevitably, the India has to be the part of the World War. Okay, so the forcibly they put India in that Allied because UK is also participating in that World War II. Okay, this is the thing he was saying here, and something like a state of emergency was declared. So in all over the state, means in our country, it was declared it as an emergency. So it is a political decisions. So during the war, during some outbreak in the city, okay, so that is called as an emergency. The first casualty came in the form of suspension of the train halt at Rameshwaram station. So the newspaper which is appeared to this place, okay, so it was stopped because of the war. So how he got the news? Through the Dinamani newspaper, he get the headlines about the war. But now unexpectedly, because of the emergency was declared, now it was stopped, okay, to spread the newspaper in that area and in that city and also in the country. So then how the newspaper was appeared in that Rameshwaram? So the newspaper now had to be bundled and thrown out from the moving train on the Rameshwaram road between the Rameshwaram and Dhanush Gudi. Okay, so while there is no supply of the newspaper in that particular Rameshwaram, so while moving train, while the train is moving, so through that the bundles of the newspaper it was throwing while the train is moving. It was not stopped in the station. It was ordered by the government to not to stop and not to provoke such kind of things, okay, to outbreak the wars and to it's about the political issues, okay. But while moving, but how the bundle was throwing here, while the train was moving, it was thrown out. Okay, so where it was throwing? Between the place which is situated in between the Rameshwaram and Dhanush Gudi. In between the two places, when the train was moving and it was thrown the bundles of the newspaper. Okay, then that forced my cousin Samshuddin, who distributed newspaper in Rameshwaram. Okay, so his cousin, the name of the cousin was that is called Samshuddin. So who distributed the newspaper? So during that period, his cousin was distributing that newspaper which was throwing out from the train. Okay, he goes there and he was picked that bundle and he was distributing that newspaper to the whole place, okay, where they are living in the Rameshwaram. Then to look for a helping hand to catch the bundles, as if naturally I filled the slot. So because the cousin, his cousin was working for that, distributing the bundle, so he used to go there. He used to go along with that cousin and he is also helping hand for that cousin. And Shamshuddin helped me earn my first wages. So he made him to help out the Abdul Kalam to earn the first wage. Okay, means as a salary he got his daily wages. He got a daily earning amount. Half a century later, I can still feel the surge of pride in the earning my own money for the first time. So it was about the half century, then he was about to earn his own money and he feel pride that he is earned some money, okay, of his own. So he feel very proud. So let's move on. I hope that you have understood about this paragraph, how he was living his life, how he was lead his life as a child. So let's move on to the fourth paragraph, and we can come to know about what are the issues in during that period. So what are the issues in our country, and what are the issues in all over the world, and how he was getting the headlines, because he wanted to know eagerly about the world war. So because of that, because of the distributing of the newspaper, because of the Shamsuddin, because of the his brother-in-law, how he was earned some amount, okay, and how he was get the news from all over the world. So through that work. Next, let's move on to the fourth paragraph. Every child is born with some inherited characteristics into specific socio-economic and emotional environment, and trained in certain ways by figures of authority. So here he says here, even every child is born as with the special qualities. He has inherited, means he has gained some of the characteristics. So inherited means the natures, the characters which is transformed from parents to the children. Okay. So here he says, generally he says here, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, that even every child he was inherited with the characteristics what the parents will inherit them. Okay, so they are inheriting specific things. So specific like socio-economic. Socio-economic means it's about a society. What are the conditions? How the parents are living in the society? Are there poor people? Are there wealth? Or they are acquired the good wealth? Or they are a middle class people? And how they were treated by the society. Okay, and what the culture they are following, and how they are leading their life. You know, the tribal people, they are leading in a different manner, and the city people, they are leading in a different manner, and the village people are leading in a different manner. Okay, it's about a society. The people who are learned from the society, so those things it was inherit from the parents to the children. Okay. Then economics, the financial condition of the parents. Is it the people they belongs to the poor, then middle class, or either they belongs to the wealth family. So it is also inherited to the child. Then emotional environment. So emotional environment, the bond between the parents and children. Okay. So how the children are having attached emotionally to the parents. So is it, if they are stubborn, if they are very sensitive, if they are introvert, if they are extrovert, so all the qualities it was inherited from the parents to the children. Okay, so I hope that you have understood these lines. And trained in certain ways by figures of authority. So the parents will train to the children. So they are guiding to the children. They are giving a training to the children about how to guide or how to lead the society, how to lead the family. So they gives the authority to lead, to have their own responsibilities. Okay. Then I inherited honesty and self-discipline from my father and from my mother. Okay, so here he says, while he was explaining about the general qualities of a children and parents, how they were inherited the characteristics, here he says about himself, how he was inherited the characteristics which the parents transformed to the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. So he was inherited with the qualities of honesty, the self-discipline from my father and from my mother. So the mother and father of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, so they were followed the qualities like a honesty, and they were having a self-discipline. They are very self-disciplined. They are very strict. They are leading a simple life. Okay, and the honesty is very important. Okay, for a child to learn, and those qualities are learned from the parents. Okay, so here for a child's upbringing. Okay, so what is the role playing here of the parents? So they were guiding, they were teaching to the children, to the child, so how to lead a life with the honesty or dishonesty, with the discipline or indisciplined. Okay, so everything will look the children behavior that is transformed from the parents to the children. And here the Abdul Kalam also, he was also inherited the qualities from the parents, that is the honesty and also self-discipline. I inherited faith in goodness and deep kindness, and so did my three brothers and sister. Okay, and he adds some other qualities. So what are the other qualities along with the honesty and self-discipline? That is faith in the goodness. He believed that if we do something, if we do good things to the people, he had the faith it will be returned to them. Okay, so always like if we thought like, yes, in nowadays we are what we do, so we just help for some people. So if that people will be not talk to us, if they were not treating us properly, if they show the attitude, so how he was doing, we should not do anything to that particular man. So we just not have the faith on the goodness. Okay, but Dr. Abdul Kalam have faith in the goodness. Okay, so whatever the things he has do for a good for the people, he has the faith. Okay, and he was not showing to the world. Then where I am, and I got it here. I deep kindness, and so did my three brothers and sister. And he was having a deep kindness, the helpful nature, the kind nature. Okay, if any person who are in need, so he is ready to help them. Okay, so he got that qualities from the parents, and he is also, and not only Abdul Kalam, and his brothers and sister also. Then I had three close friends in my childhood: Ramanatha Shastri, Aravindan, and Shiva Prakashan. So more than his family, rather than his family, he has three close friends. So who are the friends here? That is Ramanatha Shastri, Aravindan, then Shiva Prakashan. All these boys were from Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. So these people, although Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he belongs to the Muslim family, he had the friends which belongs to the Hindu Brahmin family. That is Orthodox, means they are very strict with their culture, their rules about the Brahmins. So they belongs to the Orthodox Hindu Brahmin families. As children, none of us ever felt any difference amongst ourselves because of our religious differences and upbringing. So although they belong to a different religion, but they were never felt that they will be a different. They thought that they are the equal because of their upbringing, because of their nurturing from the parents, and the way the religious were treating. Okay, so like that he was upbringing his childhood. He was enjoyed his childhood like that. Okay, not only his religion, he followed his religion, he is respect to the other religion. Okay, that is Hindu religion. In fact, Ramanatha Shastri was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, the high priest of the Rameshwaram temple. Okay, so here the Ramanatha Shastri, who is the Ramanatha Shastri here? He was the son of Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri. So he was one of the highest priests in the temple, one of the temple of Rameshwaram. Later he took over the priesthood of the Rameshwaram temple from his father. From his father. So his friend, that is Ramanatha Shastri, he went under the profession what his father, that is Pakshi Lakshmana Shastri, he was having in a profession. So that was shifted to, that was transformed to his friend. He was become a priesthood. Okay, so he was learned the priesthood from his father. Aravindan went into the business of arranging transport for visiting pilgrims, and Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. So here Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam was introducing about his friends. So what about the religion and also the profession of his friends. So the professions are here. That is one friend, he has followed the priesthood. Okay, and the another friend, that is he went to the business. So that is Aravindan, he went to the business, that is the arranging the transport for visiting pilgrims. So he arranging the transportation like the buses or maybe the boats. Okay, so he was arranging the the transportation facilities. The people who are visiting to the Rameshwaram or any other places, they are going for the that is holy places. And Shiva Prakashan, so the third friend of his, so what he was doing here, Shiva Prakashan became a catering contractor for the Southern Railways. So Shiva Prakashan, he was working under the railway, Southern Railway as a catering, okay, as a catering contractor. So one who supplies the food and the meals to the for the railway department. So he made a contractor. He became a contractor in the Southern Railway. Okay. So he was introduced about his friends and his religion, their religion and also their professions. So although they were differ from their professions, although they were different from their religion, but they all feel like they are equal. They are equal, there is no discrimination because their family, because of their parents, because of their upbringing. So that leads to the man called APJ Abdul Kalam. So like that he was, okay. So let's move on to the next paragraph. During the annual Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony, our family used to arrange boats with the special platform for carrying the idols for the Lord from the temple of the marriage site situated in the middle of the pond called Rama Tirtha, which was near our house. So during the annual occasion, it's during the annual Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam ceremony. It's a ceremony. So whose ceremony here? It is organizing in a once in a year. Okay, that is Sri Sita Rama Kalyanam. Okay, so the family is also helping out to the festival or a ceremony which were related to the Hindus. Our family used to arrange boats. Okay, so here the APJ Abdul Kalam's family, they were arranging the boats for these people, okay, for the Hindu people. They were gathered in a ceremony and they're helping them out for that, and that boats are special platform. So that was arranged and that was decorated with the special platform for carrying the idols for the Lord. Okay, so they are carrying the idols, so which were they pray, okay, the religion, the Hindu religion, which they pray the Lord Rama and Sita. So those idols were carrying through that boats. Okay, they had made the special platform for that. Okay, and then they were taking those idols for the temple of the marriage site. So where the marriage were organized in the site, so they were taking the idols to that site. Okay, that marriage site, which was situated in the middle of the pond that is called Rama Tirtha. So that marriage site was arranged. So near the house, so that is the middle of the pond. Okay, so where there was a during that period there was a pond in every village or any town and everything. So there they were organized some of the ceremonies like this. So there the pond was there, and that pond was called as a Rama Tirtha. Okay, that pond was called as a Rama Tirtha. So there it was nearer to the house. Okay, whose house? That is Abdul Kalam's house. Events from the Ramayana and from the life of the Prophet were the bedtime stories my mother and grandmother would tell the children in our family. So when he was a childhood, okay, when he was leading a life as a child, so always he used to listen the stories of Rama and also Prophet Muhammad. Okay, so always the mother and also the grandmother, they both are used to tell the stories which are related to the Rama and also the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, so this is about and here would tell the children in our family. Okay, so the mother and also the grandmother, they used to tell the stories which is they're based on the life of Rama and also the Prophet Muhammad. So they always every night they used to say the stories, okay, to the all children and also even the Abdul Kalam. So he is also learned the stories. Through the stories he learned how to live the life, okay, for the people, for the service of the people and for the country and for the goodness of the society. And he developed the kindness. Okay, so I have told you the kindness, discipline, okay, everything, whatever the qualities he had. So everything he was inspired because of the people he was lived, okay, that is the friends, okay, the people who are living in the Rameshwaram, although they were belongs to the Hindu religion, okay, he was inspired, he got some of the ideas from those people, and also from the family and the mother and father. So they are also leading a simple life, not the luxurious life, and whatever the things they were needed, so that things are provided by his father, okay, that's enough to lead a family, okay. They were quite happy whatever they have, and not only they are leading their life, and they were serving to the people, okay. The way how the Abdul Kalam's mother, how she was preparing a meal for the people who are in need, and she was serving to those people, okay. And just he was remembered that incident, okay, and he was discussing here, because through that he has understood that her mother is kind in nature, okay. His mother is kind in nature, and here he can got to know that so many people are gathered, and he was mingled with some of the people. Although in a family, in this particular family, so the people are having the goodness, and they were serving for the society. So almost it's nothing but they were inherit all the qualities. It was transferred all the qualities to the children. So he was grown in that kind of an environment. Okay, so because of that, he was remembering all those things. Why I am like this? Why I have achieved today? Because of my family, because of their culture, because of their tradition, and because of their thoughts, the way they are lead their life. So all those things were inherited to me. Because of that, I became the president. And also the scientist, and I worked for the country, and I served myself for the country. Okay, so he says here with the stories, he wanted to tell the stories to us by the childhood experiences, and how he had earned the money, and what were the conditions, and what were the things he had during that time. Okay, and all those things, from those things we can come to know about, so what kind of a person he was, okay, from his childhood, and what are the qualities he had developed. Okay, so all the qualities like kindness, service for the country, service for the people. Okay, so all the qualities he had developed in himself. So because for that, now we are remembering him. Okay, although he is not in our nowadays he is. So okay, from this lesson we come to know about how he was, is it? So today I am going to stop this lesson here. So I am going to continue this lesson in the next class. Okay, till then you have to think about so which are the works he has done for the country. Okay, and also what are the dedication towards our country. So is it all the qualities are good for him? Okay, then if you guys are accept these qualities, you would transform your life. Okay, so you have to think, and you have to write some of the things whichever you got the information about the Abdul Kalam. Okay, so it is about a what called assignment for you. It's a kind of a assignment, so you have to do it. So by the help of this explanation and by the lesson, you have known and you are familiar with the life of APJ Abdul Kalam. And so I told about only the how he was during his childhood days. So after the childhood, and wherever he was went for the education, how he was acquired the education, so many stories are still is there. So you have to read. So the name of the book is The Wings of Fire. Okay, you have to read it, and you have to understand the brief life of the Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. I hope that you all are understood this lesson, and you all are enjoyed it, and you are also imagined how he was lead his life during his childhood days. Okay, imagine. So he believed in imagination. So always he was believed in the imagination. If a child who have a imagination, that imagination leads to that person to a success. Okay, so this is about the story. So all of you, stay at home, stay connected, keep learning. Okay, so we will meet you in the next videos. Thank you all.